capital 83 degrees.
It's 5:31.
From Richmond to Baltimore, from the Chesapeake to the Shenandoah, this is WTOP, Washington's top news, on air and online at WTOP.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Brendan Hazelton.
I'm Hillary Howard. Brian Drew at the editor's desk. Coming up,
The FAA bans all U.S. flights to Israel for the next 24 hours.
Congress struggling to settle the Texas border crisis. More today on the Hill. This is Dave McConnell.
new information about the missile that shot down Malaysia Airlines Flight 17. We go in depth with J.J. Green at 5:40.
The New York Police Department weighs in on what happened to two American flags flying over the Brooklyn Bridge.
Banner day on the street. Dow closing up 62, NASDAQ up 31, S&P up 10.
Jordan Zimmerman back for the Nats tonight in Colorado.
It's 5:32.
CBS News Update. I'm Harley Carnes. Delta and United and other U.S. carriers that fly to Israel are told by the FAA stay away from Ben Gurion Airport in Tel Aviv for a while after a Hamas rocket landed a mile away. Tom Parsons at bestfares.com.
I think it's just a smart move. They're just saying they'll just cancel the flights temporarily, and then at the same time, when the smoke clears, they'll be back to normal routine.
That is in Gaza, where fighting among Israeli forces and Hamas continues. CBS's Barry Peterson is there.
People with terrible wounds, limbs that have been blown off, shrapnel, things that you get when artillery shells land in a crowded urban area.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
The international community must hold Hamas accountable for using Palestinian civilians as human shields, deliberately putting them in harm's way, deliberately keeping them.
5:33, Jewish institutions across our area are upgrading security. The Jewish Community Relations Council doesn't want to talk specifics, but it says many facilities are taking extra precautions. It's also been in touch with police about keeping an eye on their facilities.
European Union foreign ministers have agreed to target more individuals and companies with visa bans and asset freezes if Russia doesn't cooperate in the investigation of Malaysia Airlines Flight 17.
Amid some calls to cut off arms supplies to Russia, EU foreign ministers agreed only to expand the list of individuals and entities subject to a visa ban and asset freeze, though they do intend to target close associates of Russian President Vladimir Putin. EU Foreign Policy Chief Catherine Ashton warned further measures were in store if Russia does not move immediately to help in the investigation of the crash of MH17.
We in particular call on Russia to actively use its influence over the illegally armed groups to achieve access to the site.
Without improvement, Ashton said Russian access to capital markets and defense technology may be restricted. Terry Schultz for CBS News, Brussels.
5:34, Nigeria's president today has met for the first time with parents of 200 kidnapped, make that 219 kidnapped Nigerian schoolgirls, and with dozens of their classmates who managed to escape from Islamic extremists. Spokesman for President Goodluck Jonathan says he's determined to bring the rest of the girls home. The meeting comes after a request from Pakistani girls' education activist Malala Yousafzai. Parents of the missing girls say they've been asking to see President Goodluck for several months. Residents of the community that was home to the kidnapped girls say at least 11 of the parents have died since the kidnapping.
5:34, there are big disagreements in Congress, and they're holding up action on solving the Texas immigration border crisis. WTOP's Capitol Hill correspondent Dave McConnell today on the Hill.
That's right. Emergency funding to deal with that Texas border crisis remains stalled as Republicans demand a change in the law that lets young people from Central America stay in the U.S. while they're pleas for asylum or judge, often over long periods of time. Indiana Republican Congressman Luke Messer is sympathetic, but
you can't help but be heartbroken by what you see down there on the border. It's clearly a humanitarian crisis, but it's important that we take care of those unaccompanied minors, give safely return to their families.
California Senator Dianne Feinstein agrees on securing borders, but she worries about how the young people are going to be treated.
If you have tens of thousands of children, you can't meet those timelines. DHS doesn't have adequate facilities to house youngsters. That's why they need money to quickly secure those facilities.
Capitol Hill, Dave McConnell, WTOP. Thank you, Dave. 5:35. Dueling rulings for Obamacare today. The issue at hand, a key financing measure that makes the Affordable Care Act affordable. The federal goods here says subsidies can't be provided in 36
pockets for everyday things, bills, daycare, and savings for down the line too, like her college fund. I know, we're about to have our hands full, but it's a good feeling knowing we're off to a bright start, all three of us.
Come to SunTrust. We'll help you get organized so you can do what matters most. Set up your buckets at suntrust.com/organize. How can we help you shine? SunTrust Bank, member FDIC.
537.
When most people think about student loans, they probably don't think of Discover, a company best known for credit cards. But maybe they should, because Discover offers more than credit cards. And Discover student loans are more than just loans, because they have no fees and can help cover up to 100% of college costs certified by your school. On top of all that, if a student gets a 3.0 or better, we'll give them a cash reward for each new student loan. It's what we like to call a little motivation. It's just another way we treat you and you treat you. Learn more at discoverstudentloans.com/today.
Thompson Creek is the only company building stronger, safer windows for your home and our climate in their local factory, Lions Crest Cool. What does this mean to you? Well, it means you save money three ways: buying directly from the factory, buying their windows help cut your energy bills, and improving your home's value. Call right now at Thompson Creek and take 40% off installation cover costs estimated at the time of sale. Call 877-WINDOW-1 today.
Traffic and weather on the 8s and when it breaks.
In the district, 395 into the 14th Street Bridge from Roseman caught up in delays. Callers heading out of town tell us appears to be the fire department response after you pass the waterfront near Main Avenue on the inbound lanes of 395. And the traffic was squeezing by to the right. That's the view from the outbound side, which is the better direction. Coming out of the 3rd Street Tunnel, we've had one broken down. The lanes which go toward 295, the dump truck along the left side of the roadway, yet to get an all clear. In Virginia, northbound on Route 28. Delays begin before 267. The crash was before 606 and blocking the right lane. 267 exit to 28 with caution. Continuing westbound on the Greenway, the lane's open. But north of Leesburg, north of Luckett's, the truck overturned. 15 blocked both directions. South of the curve with the Valero station, a cross-country detour, which I believe is set up, at least informally, 652 to 658, which at least works for drivers who have to get close. Inbound on the toll road to cross the Legion Bridge and go north on 270. No disasters in the way. Volume, but without incident, about par for the course. Well, Lexus swings into summer savings with lease specials on Lexus ES, GS, and RX models. Pohanka Lexus in Chantilly, Virginia. Online at pohankachantilly.com. I'm Bob Marburg, WTOP Traffic.
And now to ABC7's Chief Meteorologist Doug Hill. Are we getting hotter as the week progresses?
For one more day. It looks like tomorrow's going to be the hottest day of the week, Brennan, as we head for the 90s. But today, mid-80s in most spots at the moment. And we'll slowly fall through the 70s tonight. Kind of muggy out there. Don't see any rain on radar, so you'll get through the night with no rain. Tomorrow, a partly sunny day, low 90s, high humidity. It's going to feel like mid to upper 90s, so an uncomfortably warm and humid day. And there will be increasing chances of afternoon and evening thunderstorms tomorrow. Then through tomorrow night into Thursday morning, midday Thursday, that time period will be affected by the approach of a cold front, likely to get more showers and thunderstorms scattered about the area. And then through the midday of Thursday after that, I think we should start to clear back out, see less humidity, highs in the lower to middle 80s on Thursday. And then by Friday, bright sunshine, very comfortable weather returns for the end of the work week. 84 right now in Burtonsville and Manassas, 85 in Fairfax, 83 in Davidsonville, partly cloudy skies, 84 outside the Glass Enclosed Nerve Center.
Thank you, Doug. 541. We are learning more about the downing of Malaysia Airlines Flight 17. Senior U.S. intelligence officials say while they have no evidence of direct Russian government involvement, it was likely felled by an SA-11 surface-to-air missile fired by Russian-backed separatists, and that Russia created the conditions by arming them.
So we are joined now by I almost started asking JJ a question before I said who he was. WTOP National Security Correspondent JJ Green is here. How did U.S. intelligence officials come about this information?
So how do we know? And basically it's because they detected the launch of a missile, an SA-11 missile, around the time that Malaysia Airlines Flight 17 lost communications and was hit by a missile. The detection apparently came from the area that is held by Russian separatists, and it's that same area where some other intelligence has surfaced pinpointing supposedly a vehicle transiting the area carrying 3 missiles, as opposed to 4.
Is that different from a Buk missile then? What we were talking? Okay, same thing. All right. Okay, got it.
What are they still looking for to answer?
What they're looking to answer is who did it, rank, nationality, and why. Because they're pretty sure it was a job done by Russian-backed separatists, but they're trying to figure out if it was intentional or if it was an accident, just what was the motivation behind this whole situation.
And why now? Why did some U.S. officials, intelligence officials, decide to have a little briefing on this?
Because all day yesterday, you guys and all of us and everybody was talking about these bizarre stories that are coming out of Russia regarding planes being launched or taking off loaded with dead bodies, or MH370, the missing Malaysian plane, had surfaced. All of these stories have been concocted according to senior intelligence officials to change the narrative. So they want to set the record straight to let people know that there is a certain amount of evidence, and it's all credible, that they found and they're confident in, that has put this thing squarely in the courts of those Russian separatists that are backed by the Russian government.
Anything else particularly interesting from all this today, JJ?
One of the things that's particularly interesting as well is that there's an individual, Stokov, has been the name that's stuck around, or at least surfaced, regarding this individual who's heard on a conversation that's been accessed by U.S. intelligence, and they've actually confirmed that it was this individual speaking with someone regarding the downing of this plane, who is involved with the separatist. He actually is connected with Russian military intelligence.
Fascinating. Okay, thank you so much, JJ. WTOP National Security Correspondent, JJ Green.
544.
Man plus machine. It's the ultimate collaboration. We saw it with Watson, and it's how we will solve this country's toughest challenges. I'm Greg Leffler, Senior VP at Giskel. Your agency needs the best data analytics for its mission. Giskel can show you how your current architecture may be holding you back. IBM systems with Power 8 processors can help your agency put information to work in real time and save you money. Please call me at 877-JESKELL or Giskel.com. Giskel. Smarter, faster, simply better.
Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu once said, "Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach him how to fish and you feed him for a lifetime." The team behind the Niger Delta Partnership Initiative agrees, helping people in the region develop the job skills they need to be self-sufficient. At Chevron, we're proud to be a founding member of this initiative to bring economic stability to the Niger Delta. Because at Chevron, we agree, sustainable livelihoods lead to stronger communities.
What kind of day did we have on Wall Street? Let's find out from Jeff.
Better day. The Dow ends the day up 62 points. The S&P 500 index just 2 points from the record. Big Washington employer monthly shuts down. Money news in 10 minutes on WTOP.
Sports at 15 and 45. Sponsored by DCAreaLandRover.com.
Well, George Wallace, I'm well, thank you.
Good. Just don't like the Nationals out in Colorado.
Yeah.
Some good baseball against the Rockies. They'll do it again tonight as the Nationals are in first place in the East by a game. Have the best record in the NL and won 13 of 18. Jordan Zimmerman on the hill tonight, just after 8:30 again against Colorado. Orioles and Angels do it again this evening, just after 10 o'clock. Orioles last night over the Angels as they look to make it to 2 straight. The Yankees make a move on before the trade deadline, acquiring Chase Henry for the Padres for 2 players and $1 million. Henry hitting just .229, 7 homers, 32 driven in. He'll be a free agent next year, so we'll see if that's just a little bit of a run to the Yankees. Have to wait and see. NBA news, the Cleveland Cavaliers still have to go over for a kick off in Minnesota this game next day. ESPN, they can like first to get involved in the Cavaliers sweepstakes. We'll see what happens with the Cavs still trying to sign Andrew Wiggins to this
TV fee extra. Savings claim based on cost per megabits per second. Compares Comcast 100 megabits per second and 20 megabits per second DSL downloads.
Mattress discounters. Call 1-800-BUY-A-BED to find a store near you.
It's 5:48.
Traffic and weather on the 8s and when it breaks.
395 north of the Pentagon into the city across the 14th Street Bridge. The crash that was just after the waterfront has quickly moved on. The travel lanes open to continue toward 295. Coming out of the 3rd Street Tunnel, the dump truck has been broken down before the lanes divide between South Capitol Street and 295, and was last seen still blocking the left travel lane. Outbound on 395 from the 14th Street Bridge to the Beltway, beyond the Occoquan and south through Prince William and beyond Garrisonville, we've had volume only in separate stretches. Travel lanes open. 267 westbound with caution. The exit to go north on 28. The crash on 28 before 606. Been blocking at least the right lane. Route 15 north of Leesburg, north of Luckett's, just south of the Big Bend. The truck wreck. 15 blocked in each direction. A cross-country detour using Virginia 658 and 652. Protect your home from the invisible destroyer, termites. Call Home Paramount Pest Control for free inspection at 888-888-HOME. Online at homeparamount.com. Bob Martin, WTOP Traffic.
Partly cloudy conditions as we roll through the rest of this Tuesday. A little bit on the muggy side. Temperatures, not too bad, holding mostly in the lower to mid-80s, but later this evening we'll have a hold in the 70s. Isolated shower is all we'll see. It's a possibility. Tomorrow, a better chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms continuing tomorrow night. It'll be hot and humid highs in the lower 90s. On Thursday, scattered showers and storms through the afternoon, but then clearing late in the day as a cold front passes through. Highs in the low 80s, sunny, lower humidity, a beautiful day on Friday. From the ABC 7 Weather Center, I'm Doug Hill.
Hey, we've got a whole lot of sun out there. It's 83 degrees in Northwest D.C.
Still to come on WTOP Radio, quite the birthday today. It's 5:50.
Chicken. It's never the first thing you order when you go to a restaurant. It's not even the second or third thing. But with Domino's new specialty chicken, that's all about to change. We've taken Domino's lightly breaded, boneless white meat chicken and baked different sauces, toppings, and cheeses right on top. Get Domino's new specialty chicken when you buy it with a medium 2-topping pizza, each for only $5.99. Domino's. Oh yes, we did. 2-item minimum. Handmade pan pizza may be extra. You must ask for this limited time offer. License participation, delivery area, and charges may vary.
Some space launch companies talk a lot about what they're going to do, but United Launch Alliance, with a track record of more than 80 successful launches, is already doing it.
So when satellites must pinpoint enemy movements, anticipate dangerous weather, or help first responders save lives, trust the launch company that's always valued results over rhetoric, reliability over recognition, and history over hype. ULA, bringing rocket science down to Earth.
At WTOP, it's 5:51.
Is promoting diversity in the workplace a liability? That's the word from researchers at the University of Colorado, who found women and non-white executives who push for minorities to be promoted suffer when it comes to their own performance reviews. For example, women who shepherd women up the ranks are perceived as less warm, while non-whites who promote diversity are seen as less competent. Both end up being rated less highly by their bosses. White men, on the other hand, actually get a bump in their performance review scores from valuing diversity. Researchers tell the Wall Street Journal they think the negative stereotyping of women and minorities is a result of perceived self-interest.
5:52 on a much lighter note. It is a big day for Britain's most famous baby.
It's the story the British have waited a year for.
Prince George tells Women's Day.
The future Prince